Ken Da Silva. I'm instructor at our Kama Jiu-Jitsu in Austin, Texas. I've been training the last 6 years. I am a purple belt. I've been instructing since early in my blue belt. Ryan gave me the opportunity as a junior instructor to start helping out in class. That turned into having my own class. That turned into teaching regular classes here in our Flower Mound campus on Fridays and Saturdays. I think it was the first person that Ryan had start teaching classes other than himself. You know, fast forward about 5.5 years, opportunity came up to open a campus in Austin. The timing just happened to be perfect for me, so I jumped on it and said, yep, let's do this. And we opened our campus officially November 4th of 2019, and we've been going strong ever since then. Yeah, pretty confident about my instruction. It just comes natural to me. I did a lot of it for work, a lot of training people, a lot of teaching people. I'm sort of a curious sort. I like to be able to understand how things work and to be able to articulate things. And the way that Ryan teaches just fit in with me, and it made sense. So really, my teaching started with me just mimicking Ryan and just saying, okay, how did Ryan teach it? And I would teach it the exact same way that I saw it. And it helped me understand the movements better. It helped me execute the movements better. And then it became this thing, okay, well, can I say it a different way? Or if this person's struggling with something, what can I give them that's different? A physical cue, a mental cue, a touch, an example that relates back to what they do. I've given examples to guys who are musicians that are drummers as far as grip goes. Guys that do all different things. I try and relate it back to something that's real for them. If they were with a different martial art in the past, I try and make concepts like bass make sense to them. Like we have guys that have done judo, we have guys that have done Muay Thai, and they understand certain concepts. And if it's a universal concept, it applies to jiu-jitsu as well. And so I love finding different ways to articulate that same thing, give that same message so that it clicks for that person.
Okay, cool. Well, it sounds like you do have a talent in it.
I don't know if I say talent. I have a passion for it, yes, for sure. It's up to somebody else to say whether or not I have a talent for it.
Well, Ryan wouldn't have risked an entirely new school kind of completely out, kind of just in his arm's reach.
Yeah, well, it's 3-hour drive. Ryan's been down a lot. And Dave Kama's been down a lot. We've had Quan Gracie out. We've had numerous instructors come down from our Flower Mound campus. So really, Flower Mound to Austin where we are, it's a 3-hour drive. The guys will come down, they'll stay with me. We'll make a weekend of it. It's a really good opportunity. And then right now I'm in Flower Mound. I'm at Flower Mound campus, so this isn't Austin. I'm always coming up here. So this kind of, it's just that that little drive back and forth. You do it enough times, it's no big deal.
You're kind of tethered, but you're still kind of out there.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I have responsibilities day to day there, but I always have the opportunity to come up on the weekends when I want to train here, or for guys to come down and train with me and instruct classes down there.
Cool. How is Austin? Do you like it?
I love Austin. I lived in New Jersey. I lived in Florida. When I moved here, I moved to Dallas, or actually Flower Mound, but just outside of Dallas area. And I absolutely fell in love with Texas. To me, this was the best area. This felt like home immediately. And then I moved down to Austin, and I'm like, oh my God, I like it even better down here. And I didn't expect that. I wasn't 100% sure. But Austin's got a different vibe to it. It's a lot younger. It's got sort of more of a laid-back vibe to it. The expression "keep Austin weird." But what I really like about it is a lot of outdoor living down there. Green space is huge down there. It's just a nicer vibe from my perspective. I like it down there a lot. That's the thing. If you don't know Texas and you move down here and you go down to Austin, you're like, "Am I still in Texas?" And you're driving around hill country and you don't even realize, oh, Texas can be like this. So no, it's beautiful down there. Don't have a second thought about moving down to Austin. One of the things that's really important to school is the culture, the vibe within the school, how the students are, how the students get along. And those guys fit right into our culture right away. And I can't describe how important that is. It's very important here. Culture is very important for us. this isn't like this big money making operation that we're trying to get numbers in and it's just you're another guy that walks in the door, and if you come in, great. If you don't, you don't. You're still paying your dues. It's not that at all. I'm building like my band of brothers. I'm building my training partners. I'm building people I'm trying to help Ryan and Dave pass the art on to. It's a passion. It's not a business opportunity. That's the only thing I can tell you. I mean, I have a full-time job. That's my income. That it's not common jiu-jitsu. I do it because I love it. And the guys have just fit right in, and the camaraderie already that I see, within the classes, outside of the classes, we care. But like if a guy doesn't come to class, like we're texting them, we're calling them, like, hey, where you been? It's been a while. So there's constant communication with us. There's no such thing as a nameless, faceless person in any of our campuses. So it's a very different vibe. We're building community. Because that's important to us, and it always has been. It's been important for Ryan since day one, and I've seen it, and that's the way this campus has grown. It's grown as a community, not just as a place that you learn jiu-jitsu.
Is there any difference at the Austin studio compared to?
Yeah, we have a younger demographic in the Austin campus, I don't know all the demographics between the Flower Mound area and sort of the Austin, Cedar Park, Round Rock, that surrounding greater Austin area. But we just happen to have we have older guys too. We have a guy in his 50s, we have guys in their 40s, 30s, 20s. I think I have a 19-year-old, a little bit swayed towards the younger. We also have a larger percentage of women in our campus than we do in Flower Mound. I'd like to keep that trend up. I'd like to get more women in because I think women need jiu-jitsu more so than even men do. Our curriculum is just as much self-defense as it is jiu-jitsu. And the self-defense portion really is the foundation for everything. You can't truly, in my opinion, say jiu-jitsu if you don't know self-defense. Like that's the foundation for the out. That's where it started. I mean, yes, it can branch off and do things, but it becomes different at that point. If anything, things have gone better and faster than I anticipated. Maybe finding space. I'll say that. The biggest challenge was finding a space in the Austin area that wasn't exorbitantly priced. The real estate market, especially retail, is really kind of, I'd say, out of control in Austin, especially when compared to Dallas. I assumed it was going to be more comparable, and I would say it's a good close to 50% more expensive when everything's said and done. Honestly, we've already exceeded some of my early goals, to be honest with you. So, from my perspective, I didn't know how fast things were going to grow. I didn't know how quickly things would take. Things are growing faster than I had anticipated. And so I just feel like I'm playing with house money now. To me, my goal is steady growth. That's it. If I have nice steady growth throughout the rest of the year, I want to look back at our 1 year mark and say, wow, we did way more than I thought. That would be my goal. And then obviously I want to get to the point that, people are moving up in the art. I love seeing that little look in somebody's eye where it just clicks and they get something. Or even if somebody comes in with some degree of experience and I kind of show them how to do something a little bit better and they kind of go saucer-eyed, like, oh, finally, now I understand it. Maybe you could tell I'm a bit of a wordy guy, so I really like to explain things. I like for people to understand. We go over things over and over and over again, and I'm personally invested in whether or not every individual gets that movement, is able to do that thing, right? That individual might not be able to do it against everyone, but I want them to be able to do the movement. And a lot of times people, they learn and they grow at different rates, but there's no well, he's not gonna get that. No, it's my mission to make sure that guy gets it, I want everyone to progress. The idea of people not progressing bothers me. To me, that's my failure. That's not that person's failure. Okay, I need a better way to explain it. I need a different physical cue for them. I need to put them in a position or make them feel something, whether they're on the receiving end or the other end of it. I need to give them some frame of reference that they go, oh, okay, now I understand what you're showing me. Yeah, it's the expression, you get 1% better, 1% better. That's all you need, right? And just that thing that you can look back and say, oh, I would wipe the mat with me of 3 months ago. or the me that walked in this door.
Yeah.
Right. That's what you want. It's you against you. And jiu-jitsu, it's tough. It's hard to keep that mentality that it's me against me, because it always feels like it's me against the other guys in the class. And that's not it at all. It's really you against you. And it's you against the guy who's not in jiu-jitsu, right? The guy who isn't training, that isn't getting better. When you move up with your classmates, you're moving like this, so it feels like you're not getting better. But if you compare yourself to a control, the guy who's not in jiu-jitsu, you're far exceeding him. If you compare himself to you that walked in the door, it's not even close. It's night and day.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's when all you have to compare yourself is to other people who are just similar.
Right,
yeah.
and who are learning the same things at the same time that you are.
Yeah.
So you're both learning how to do it and how to defend it. So it always gets harder. So it has this weird feeling like I'm not progressing when you really are progressing. It's the boats and the tide. The boats all go up with the tide, and you can say, well, I'm not making any ground on that other boat. Well, yes, but the tide pushed you up.
Yeah.
And there are times that, throughout your career where now you'll take off and somebody will kind of plateau a little bit and then they'll take off, and that's always going on.
Just the little click that happens.
Yeah. And sometimes it is just that. It's that click. It's that little, and it just works.
Do you want to shout out to anybody at the school?
No shout out to anybody at the school. Shout out to the school. 12112 Anderson Mill Road in Austin, Texas. Could you stop doing that, man? I mean, really?
Michael Mitchell, you're doomed.
Now I'm going to forget. 12112 Anderson Mill Road, Building 3, Suite A, Austin, Texas.
Cool. Alrighty.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were still filming.
Yeah, right. You knew what you were doing.
Keep that in when he says, I'm so sorry, I didn't know you were filming. That's it, man. Just try it. And even if you're not in our area, go try jiu-jitsu somewhere else. Try and find an old school jiu-jitsu place, unless you really want, you're really keyed on competition. I'm telling you, go old school jiu-jitsu. It's where it really is. There's a difference.